Keep it going for Paul!
All right, I think I got this here. All right. Very dramatic. Okay, thanks. So I was 10 years old in 1972 and was pretty sure I was gay. So I went to the library and I looked up the word homosexuality because we didn't really have the word gay back then. And when I did the Dewey Decimal System thing and got all the references, it brought me to more words that I didn't really understand, like deviant, like pedophile. And it was really kind of sad because once I looked up those words, I was like, oh, God, I don't think that's me. So it was kind of a depressing time because I was sort of seen as a pathology and not a person. So I just kind of filed it away. And in my working class neighborhood in Boston, I would listen to what other kids would say. And what I learned from stereotypes were, as a gay man, I had two career choices, basically. It was a florist or a hairdresser. And I would be destined to live in San Francisco, and I'd be dead by I was 40 or 50. I was like, God, fuck, that's really not a very good future here. So I figured, well, I'm not really good with flowers, but I will cut hair. I am going to be the best fucking hairdresser around. I'm gonna study it. I'm gonna own it. It's me. So here I am in the backyard cutting neighborhood kids' hair, doing a god-awful job. And then there was the mother contingent where they kind of cornered my mother and basically said, he's not cutting our fucking cunts' hair. He's not cutting their hair anymore. So my mother has to tell me I can no longer cut the neighborhood's kids' hair. And I was like, shit, now what am I gonna do? Like, I was like, that was my work for cosmetology school, my experience. So then I had to live with this, I don't know what I'm gonna do when I grow up. So I just kind of lived under the radar screen, and I had the chance when I go to college. I'm like, I'm gonna go away from home, and I'm gonna go away to school. I'm gonna go to the University of Massachusetts at Amherst, and I'm gonna come out, and I'm gonna be, I think, gay. And once I told one of my friends, she goes, oh, you're not gonna go there, are you? And I'm like, yeah, what's the matter? She goes, everyone I know who's gone to UMass Amherst comes back either as a Hare Krishna or they're gay. And I was secretly hoping, well, I'll settle for the latter, you know? So I went to University of Massachusetts. I had a very good experience. I was a resident assistant in the dorm. I met a lot of cool people. I came out when I was 22, and things were looking up. I didn't have to be a hairdresser. I had lots of choices, right? So fast forward to 1998. Matthew Shepard was murdered for being gay. He was targeted for being gay, and that just really impacted me. It impacted the whole nation. Like, wow, just for being gay. Like, back when I was coming out in college, you could be killed for who you are. And that put me in a funk. And if that wasn't bad enough, it got worse. Because one of my coworkers' sons, who was 17, committed suicide 3 or 4 days after Matthew Shepard was murdered. And I went to the memorial service for him, and the preacher man said he was selfish for killing himself. And I remember they had a line of all these achievements, and he had an acceptance letter from Amherst College, which was in the same town that I went to school, and it was so, I couldn't stop crying, like, oh my God, can you wait another year? Could you just hold on another year? Can you just hold on? And that, for me, was that do-over moment where, even though I sensed he was gay, I didn't know. I suspected that he was, and he wasn't the football player like his brother. But when he committed suicide, he opened his mouth and shot himself with a gun while the whole family was home. Now, if that's not the biggest fuck you, I don't know what it is. I mean, seriously, the whole family's home, and he killed himself. He wasn't even safe in his own home. And if I could do it over again, I would hold Ryan so tight, and I would tell him, it gets better. It really gets better. 'Cause I felt that way too when I was your age. Except I wouldn't think in 1998 that kids felt that way. When I was his age, we didn't have the internet and all the role models. I'm like, wow, it just broke his spirit. And I thought, if people don't kill us like they killed Matthew Shepard, we kill ourselves, our spirit, our soul. That was so horrible. Fast forward, 2014. I can marry in Oregon if I want to. But guess what? Guess what? Ryan would be 33 years old today. 33. He'd be in this audience just like you and I. He'd probably have a boyfriend. He would look like Neil Patrick Harris. He had so much potential. This kid knew 3 languages. He was so talented. He played different musical instruments, but he was invisible to his own family. He could be someone today. I mean, it just is really sad to me. So for me, my do-over moment, if I could, in that moment, I would hold that boy really tight. I wouldn't let go. I would tell him all the things that I went through. I would tell him life would be much better, because it does get a lot better. Thank you very much.